Okay. Power slap. This isn't going to go good.
Sheena Bathory.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Like a truck.
Wow. And she gone. She gone.
Gymnastics.
Big time. No man nine. Diamonds in my teeth. I got a lot of shine. Don't do it. Watch your back. Watch your mouth. Don't do it. Big time.
In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Involuntary Yoga. This week we got Sheena Bathory, the viral slap fight champion. I don't know if she's the champion, but she went viral for...
In my book, she is.
Who was it? Courtney Olson. She made her do a somersault from that straight slap to the face. And today we're going to talk about slap fighting as a sport. I don't really understand it. Miller's not a huge fan of it either.
I like it.
Now
I love it. I love it.
No, I mean, it's been talked about, and it was good to get somebody on the show who's doing it, who is a star, and get her take on it and why. So make sure you check it out. This episode is brought to you by Fit Soda. Get yours now. Go to fitsoda.com. If you don't drink Fit Soda, then you. It's got aminos for recovery and electrolytes for hydration. All my friends drink Fit Soda, and they're cool as like me. I got a model girlfriend. She drinks Fit Soda. I got a fireman buddy. He drinks Fit Soda. Construction workers, they drink Fit Soda. Every girl you're attracted to drinks Fit Soda. This camera guy right here, he drinks Fit Soda. It doesn't get any better than this. It's time to get your Fit Soda. Make sure you go to fitsoda.com if you want to be cool like me. The best part about Fit Soda? Zero sugar. Sugar sucks too. Sugar. I hate sugar. Man, this. I'm out of here. All right, today on Involuntary Yoga, we are joined by Sheena Bathory, who has kind of taken the internet by storm with the new Power Slap out, right? Sheena, it's great having you, and we have so many questions for you because, as anybody listening to this knows, Power Slap and the slap competitions have been viral all over the internet, and we actually saw a video of you, I think it was last week. It was going around everywhere. You knocked that girl out, that woman out with a vicious slap. So I'm excited to have you on, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
So let's go back to what's kind of your background. Like, tell us a little bit about you, as a person. I know that you grew up bodybuilding, I think, and doing judo.
No, actually, bodybuilding just was like 2 years in my life. I did judo. I started judo with my father. I was born in a judo family, and my father was really good in that. He was 5th place in the Olympic Games, world champion and European champion with us. And I have 4 siblings, so the whole family was raised on the judo mat. Let's say that.
I love it.
And yeah, so I was like 5 years old when I started doing judo. I was 21 when I won the European Championship, and I won later many World Cup medals and many qualifications. I got placed at for the Olympic qualification, but unfortunately I never was able to qualify myself. So when I was 26, I'm not 31, so when I was 26, I retired from judo and I started doing bodybuilding for 2 years because I had many surgeries and I wanted to give kind of rest for my body from martial arts, while I still did some strength training, obviously. And now I feel like it's a comeback for me, and I want to definitely compete in March in MMA this year.
Oh, okay. So you're going to compete in MMA too.
Yeah, actually, the Power Slap made me this desire for science. It's part of UFC, and I was like, why not? Like, I also won national championship in freestyle wrestling, so I did so many martial arts, and I was like, why I wouldn't try out myself, So there's nothing to lose about. I'm 31. I think I still can give for myself 4 or 5 years, and then probably going to be a good mother, maybe, hopefully.
I would say judo is definitely a rough upbringing. I did judo for a little bit, and I would say that I got hurt more doing that, I felt like, than anything. But that judo background, once we get into this slap stuff, I got to imagine that the hips have a lot to do with being able to generate that power.
We use a hip. Yes. We have to be very stable on our feet. And, judo is more all about the throw. So it's imaging how much hip strength you need to throw somebody while this opponent is resisting,
Yeah.
So I think that's why I get a really strong hip, and then the arm. In the judo, we always grab the gi, so we have to lift up the opponent while we have a strong grip. So I think that's why I also have a very powerful slap. So I was visualizing how I can make the most powerful slap to not using only my arm, but I can also including my hip strength, my legs, and everything. And this is how it came out, just like you guys saw on the video.
Yeah. So when you're training MMA now, currently, I think I saw a video of you working with Eric Nixick, who Chris and I actually were just at Extreme Couture with him a month ago.
Eric is an awesome trainer. Unfortunately, I can't train with him no more because with my boyfriend, we just moved to Florida. So we found actually another MMA class here. We just done our first session here. This gym seems very promising, so I'm really glad for that. We just were busy in the past week with the moving stuff, so we are going to find good coaches again to work with. Nice.
So Sheena, let's get in. So how did you get into Power Slap? Are there local competitions for? So correct me first. Is it slap fighting? What would be the actual term? I know Power Slap is the promotion with Dana White. Is it slap fighting is the sport?
They made it to be a sport.
But I mean, because there's other organizations that exist, right? Like MMA is mixed martial arts, and then the UFC is an organization.
Yeah, it is. It is now. It's become under Power Slap name. So yeah, I think it's become a sport now.
Is Power Slap what UFC is running? Is that their promotion?
That's Dana White's.
Copy that.
Yeah. So Dana White recently started their promotion, Power Slap. So how is it? Did you approach them? Did you apply?
Yeah. How do you get in? Do you send in like a resume?
So there was no. There was a tryout contest in March where I got invited for, and I was like, well, yeah. I mean, I came to US almost 2 years ago, so I know US is more opportunity for sport, obviously more than in Europe. So that's why I came here to do maybe pro wrestling or something. I just felt that I have to come here. And when the Power Slap reached me out, I was like, maybe this is my destiny, So I am really very grateful.
Sheena, real quick, were you when they first reached out, were you hesitant?
Yeah, had you ever done it before?
You weren't hesitant at all?
No. I'm grateful for every opportunity. Even though it wouldn't exist for me, I still had experience which I can use and invest in my future. It doesn't mean that it was meant for me. I mean, I think slap thing was meant for me, but the other things I never really regretted if I ever tried out, because the experience and everything I was learning from, I was grateful for. So I was like, absolutely in. Maybe it's just going to be one contest. Maybe it's going to be a life-changing. So I would never know if I would never try out. So it was obviously yes, immediately. It just came up like, if I can make it good. And I was like, yeah, for sure, because I have like past traumas and experience with ex-boyfriends, and I took very bad slap thing. I mean, I'm not going to
So were you? Is it like scary too? Because not scary, but with all the brutal knockouts and things like that, was there any hesitancy there that you're going to take some damage? Were you nervous about that?
I know that I'm going to change my personality once I get slapped, because the traumas created a second personality for me, which is very cold and very strong and powerful, because I want to protect myself. And I know once I receive slap, it's going to fucking freak me out. So I was like, I really hope that in this tryout contest, I'm going to receive the first slap, because that power, what I feel I can earn after, is something out of human. So I mean, you saw on the video, the very sad thing was that my opponent was my very good friend.
I saw that video that you guys were friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was that your very first one? Like, had you done this before? They approached you. Or was that
Like a competition? I never done it. I never.
never? Okay. Yeah. So that's got to be pretty interesting. Like, I mean, I'm sure most of the people in it now are fairly new. Like I said, I don't know if there's other organizations like regional ones or whatever that build up to the big televised ones.
Sounds like they just throw you in. Like you're just
Yeah.
in.
So give us the rundown. So they contact you and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm in. What were the next steps after that?
So after I knocked out Kearney, I remember Dana was very impressed by me, and I remember exactly what he said. He said, "Oh, girl, you're a fucking badass."
Dana was
Used to be a
hyped for
button.
sure.
Yeah, he was very impressed. I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." But I was like still shocked, like, what the heck is going on here? You know, I mean, the Apex cameras everywhere. I mean, I used to compete in big competitions like Judo Grand Prix, full the sport hall with people. But this is still something else because I just saw on social media and Dana is there face to face with me, and I'm like, and he's impressed by me. I was like, holy shit, something good things is going on. So I was really happy, but it took almost weeks until I get it. I really recognize what's going on with me. So
Yeah.
this is how it was. Yeah. And then so afterwards I think they needed some time to building up this whole thing. They started working on the videos and everything, and now in December, no, actually end of November, Frank reached me out, and he's a president of the Power Slab, and he said that they want to involve me to be a Power Slab male assistant coach. So I was like, that's a huge step forward. Like, okay, I would like to share with them all my experience and all my knowledge. And obviously Darius was next to me, so wasn't all the responsibility on me, which was good because I feel very virgin in this sport yet myself. So, but I try to bring all my best knowledge to help the guys, you know, that they will be more like they can do better.
Definitely. So when Power Slap contacted you, how soon were you competing? Like, when you agreed, did you start doing some training? And obviously you probably had to kind of make it up, like what you should be doing to train, or did they contact you and they're like, hey, this weekend we want you to come down and do this?
Yeah, I think I just got few weeks for preparing this contest.
And then what was
I
prep
really
like?
don't. I think I got like 1 month. So yeah, actually, I started working out with bands, and I was about to hitting the punching bags too. So lots of shoulder stabilization, because I felt when I slapped my shoulder, it's kind of hurt. So I wanted to make sure that my shoulder, my elbow, and my wrist can take the slap while I'm doing it. So I was working out with bands a lot, with a lot of weightlifting for specifies for shoulder, and yeah, I was punching the bag. But here the point was about the technique, how you're going to make the hit, because I saw some people was practicing that they can't hit right the target, and I think as a judo fighter, I don't really have issue to get the right target, because we have lots of during fight we always have to catch the hands while we try to have a good grip. So I think that's why the target wouldn't be an issue for me. So this is what I did. And then after the competition, when they signed me up, I reached out the coaches, and I started more preparing in MMA and in kickboxing, because I believe boxing is going to definitely help to become better in slap.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think watching it, it's a lot more than just swinging your arm. I've seen a few people, when they do it, they just use their arm. They don't use their hips, their legs, any of that.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's right.
I was real curious about like the training for it. So hitting the bag, I didn't know, maybe you're at home. You're like, all right, tell your boyfriend, like, I got to practice. So I'm going to need you to stand here, arms behind your back, slap.
Too much trauma, bro. Were you doing like the Rocky thing where you just went and slapped like slabs of beef in a meat locker somewhere? I feel like that'd be part of my part of my training regimen.
Look, I grew up on the farm, so if I
There you
still
go.
was living there, probably I would practice like that. No, I'm kidding. I'm not.
Or is it like an old
No.
kung fu movie where you go out and slap like fence posts till your hand is like concrete?
The slap flies out of the air like a real ninja.
So
No, I still believe about the power training too. So, for the strength level, and that's what I can also invest in my slap. So I think it's more colorful, supposed to be the training than how simple it seems like.
Is there? I have a quick question for both of
Yeah.
you. Is there any I know in MMA and obviously in football, which I played, there's like neck training, that kind of thing, which was super important.
Ooh.
Is there a big thing now in slap fighting? Because there's obviously people with better chins who have tougher faces. I've seen people choke, kind of tuck their neck in. Are you doing any facial jaw training or neck training to be able to withstand those blows?
Oh, yeah, you get the point. So I saw so many people get knocked out who made a really strong slap, but they were not able to take the slap. And I think that's why I'm doing grappling, wrestling, because the grip is, they hook in the neck. So you're actually doing the right exercise for the neck. So you can take, it's going to obviously make stronger neck muscles, but to take the slap, I don't know. I think you have to born for it, that you didn't really get the blackout.
yeah, I know when training jiu-jitsu and wrestling is what really helps me build my neck up more
Yeah,
than anything
yeah.
than doing weights and stuff.
Because we joked with you once, you used to chew gum aggressively, and there's definitely ways you can strengthen your jaw and the muscles in your neck. I would
Yes.
imagine that has something to do with it.
Yeah, so some people doing the cup on the bottle, they are going to chew it, so they make stronger these muscles here, so they can flex while they're receiving the slap. So there are multiple things, and I think everybody have to work on different parts. So I don't have to work on my neck and on my jaws. As you see, I have already strong jaw.
Yeah.
So there are some things what the other fighters have to work on. I just try to be maybe more powerful. Maybe that's the strength. Now, actually now I'm preparing for MMA too, so I'm busy with many other things too.
It's basically training for it anyway. Do you guys, I don't know if I could tell, do you guys wear mouth guards?
Yes, we do.
You do? Okay, that's great. I got to be honest, I can't imagine.
And we have to plug in our ear too.
Yeah, and
There's
that's
a little thing we have.
Is
Yeah.
that so your eardrum doesn't explode?
I think that's why, yeah. Because, somebody doesn't really hit on the face. If they gonna hit the ear, they can have a issue.
yeah. That was going to be a question I had actually. Was what are the rules as far as where you can hit? Because I feel like I would try to bend my wrist a little bit, make sure I hit you in the nose and the face. Is there a target that? And then
it has to be here.
Like the
No
cheekbone.
ear, no neck, no face, no nose. Yeah,
And,
they have pretty much rules for that.
and what happens if you break the rule? Like if you make contact with a different part you're not supposed to?
So if you break the rule, then we can have free slaps, 3 by each. You just miss your opportunity, so it's kind of one score for the other.
But okay, I was trying to figure out because, if you're saying you got to make contact with the cheek, but I hit you in the ear and knock you out, what happens then? Is that a disqualification? And
No disqualification. No. They go until the other someone get passed out, including the free slaps, or they just keep going until the free slaps is gone.
Yeah, I just meant if I missed and I didn't hit the cheek, like I hit your ear, your eye, something, and then you're knocked out, like you can't continue.
Oh, then I won. So if you knock
You
me
won.
out with the because it's out of rules, so you break the rule. That's
Yeah.
why I won.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to be. It's not. I saw so many fighters lost. They were really very strong, and they just lost because they missed the target.
Yeah.
So you have to be very aware about that.
I got to say, I cannot imagine standing there, hands behind my back, and letting somebody slap me
Just
as
tee
hard
off.
as they.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind like while you're waiting? Because
But you see that's why you may be good after to slap the shit out of them.
I just want to go
Because-
first.
You can take advantage of your anger.
Yeah.
That was my tactic. So I was like, okay, I might be
How
cooking that.
how are people not getting their jaws broke? I feel like with heavyweights, you're like breaking jaws, and
Yeah. Have you seen broken jaws and stuff?
No, really. I mean, I just saw that they were swallowing, but I don't know if this get broken. I think it can get dislocated. I get actually from martial arts, but that's why I was focusing why I get the mouth guard. So I bite it and I flex so I never get dislocated my jaw.
Yeah. Yeah. Always bite down on it for sure. Now, with your hand, I don't know if you can see my hand. Are you trying to make contact with kind of like the heel of your hand where it's a little harder near your wrist rather than like up here on your knuckles?
Yes. So yeah, it's here. I'm going to hit.
Okay. And is there rules about that? Like,
so you're being punched.
kind of like,
Yeah, no, I mean you're being punched in the face. That's a punch. Like in some martial arts, the palm punch is like a.
No, look. So I'm going to.
I
hit
wish she
your
was in
face
studio. I would let her
with my
slap me.
whole wait. With my whole hand, I'm going to slap the face. But when it comes to hip and everything, gonna connect to the after I hit the face, I'm gonna push with this part more. But I think it's still fitting the rules because my whole hands touch the face. But after when I have because it's not just I wanna slap. I wanna like
follow
push
through.
her. Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
No, that makes sense. It seems like you did your homework and you have a technique down because I've watched some of the other ones and I see people like bend their arm. I even saw some heavyweights doing it and one guy looked like he had no power. He wasn't really following through. It was kind of like a pimp slap or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Like
A pimp slap.
you know who would probably have crushed it in this, but he is not a fan of it, is Boss Rutan. Do you know who that is?
from Instagram, yes.
Yeah, Boss Rutan's like an MMA legend, but he used to fight Pancrase where they couldn't punch with a closed fist. So it had to be like palm strikes. And he kind of changed the entire style and was knocking people out with that. That was just a random thought, but
Wow.
I figured like Boss would be all about it.
Yeah, you're being punched in the face.
It is kind of like a punch. Like Chris is right, because if you're making contact with that and then your target, it's not just like slapping with the
It's
fingers.
not just a fist or something, right?
Yeah.
This is the power what comes behind.
Yeah. So you said each person gets 3 slaps.
Right.
And now is there a scoring system, or if nobody's knocked out after the 3?
Yeah, how do you win? Chris is right. If you don't get murked or starched, how do you win the fight?
Yeah, it's like who made the more. Oh, so actually, yeah, that's a good question. They probably decide who slapped harder or who was like longer time out of conscience.
Oh,
So
man,
I think-
longer time out of conscious. That's rough.
Yeah.
Wow.
What kind of with Power Slap, did they have you do medicals before
Yes,
the
that's
competition?
correct.
What
And right after too.
Yeah, what kind of
They
stuff? do
take a
have you do?
good care of. So we had actually, and I think it says, MRI or something for the head.
Oh, MRI.
So they see that. Yeah, I think it was MRI. Also, they checked our eyes. They checked our teeth and
jaw and everything like that.
jaw. Yeah. It was long ago for me. It was in March, but so far they checked almost everything. I didn't get checked in the past 10 years. I asked them to make they want to make sure that I'm not pregnant on the contest, so they really take care about everything.
Well, I'm glad that they're doing medicals for sure. I was curious about that because when I fight, I've got to do CAT scan, MRI, depending on the state. Blood work, all kinds of things, eyes,
Yes,
physicals,
everything,
all of that. So that's good to know because I was really curious. I'm like, man, I hope they're I hope they're checking these brains because, to be completely honest, standing there with your arms behind your back, not able to defend yourself, and some of those knockouts that I've seen, those are like TBIs, like traumatic brain injuries. People are stiff on the ground.
I heard about that. But this is happening also in MMA too, and also in football too, right?
It does. For me, having the chance to defend yourself, like in MMA, I'm trying to not get hit. In power slap, it's inevitable that you have to let the person hit you full force.
Feels like knockouts are inevitable, and MMA football doesn't feel like they're inevitable. It doesn't feel like, how many fights as a percentage get stopped through grappling, like 30, 40%. Football, you may not get knocked out that game. In fact, they're trying to prevent it. And power slapping feels like someone's about to get knocked out hard. And I think that's where there's been such a big reaction from the public is like, holy crap, like you're going to see someone go stiff and have snot bubbles every single time.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And that's why I would say that it's going to selecting the people who want to make this sport. Like somebody really have like huge sport background, and they still there because they get the courage to do that. So we are going to meet very interesting people, I think, in the slap thing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It takes big cojones to stand there and get smacked.
Dude,
how do you say cojones in Hungarian?
A what?
Chutzpah, sand, balls. How do you say courage in Hungarian? What's the word?
Courage?
Yeah.
The courage?
In Hungarian.
Bátorság.
Great word.
Say it.
Bátorság.
Bátorság.
I nailed it, right? Yeah, I crushed it.
You have a nice accent.
He's been working on it.
Yeah, I've been practicing my Hungarian for this call.
So what did
so back to the topic, I think you should go for like you're going to have the first slap and you knock out your opponent, and then you're not going to get hit if you get that luck.
Good strategy.
Yeah.
You can avoid, right? The injury.
That's how I
But
go into
I'm sure
fights
that
too.
So just to talk about it a little bit, I think it's not a really long-term thing you can do for, like, I wouldn't say to do this like 5-10 years, for sure not, because of the health upcoming issues. So
I'm glad you said that because I was thinking even like, depending on how many you did in a year, I don't see anybody really being able to have a long career doing this just because the contact is inevitable, Like Floyd Mayweather can go in there and box and not get hit very much in every fight, but this is inevitable. Like you have to stand there, you have to get hit. There's no defense. So I just don't see how careers can really be made in this. That's kind of my other question for not really you, but Power Slap, because they're going to have to constantly rotate new people through. And how do you build stars with such a short career?
Well, I think that's why there is the other show is going. So it's not only about the competition. There are so many characters, and I think that's important that behind somebody going to be a big slap fighter has to own an interesting personality. What can catch people,
like sellable personalities.
Yeah. It's the social. It's everything runs on social media, and social media was built on characters, on personalities. So I think behind the power or technique or something, it's a very important thing nowadays.
Yeah. So when you can we, if you're okay, talking about some pay stuff, like is there knockout bonuses? Is it flat pay?
So yeah, if we win, then we get a winning prize.
And you get money for just showing up to, like for MMA, you get your show money and then win money. And then sometimes there's bonuses.
Yes, that's correct.
Are we?
I hope I'm able to talk about. I'm not going to say amounts, but yeah, this is how it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think knowing the UFC, they probably have no problem that you say that because it's real well known for MMA and fights.
Okay.
That you get show money, win money. You don't have to say the amount. Do they do bonuses too? Because I know Dana will do bonuses in the UFC, like fight of the night, knockout of the night.
I just had the tryout competition, and after we get agreed that I'm going to get paid to show up and extra money if we win or I win. So this is the current status. I don't know if there is any bonuses for knockout or whatever. They never mentioned it for me. Maybe later then I'm going to change it, or it's already in process. I don't know, but this is what was the last I agreed with them.
Awesome. Yeah, that's crazy. So that was the video of you that was pretty viral. That was just the tryout, huh? That's a rough tryout for the other girl. She did a somersault.
She's probably selling insurance now.
Oh, man. And how are you two friends? How did you know each other prior?
So when I moved to Las Vegas, it was hard to find a place where I can leave it. So he offered me that I can stay at her place. I was staying there more than a month until I found my apartment and everything. And she involved me for pro wrestling. So I mean, she helped me a lot to start a new life from Hungary in Las Vegas. And I just couldn't understand why this happening with me, that emotionally I get so much challenged, that here is this girl who she had done a lot in this life, and she went through also a lot, and I know her background, and it wasn't my intention to hurt her. And now you see like how many millions, like over 100 million, saw this video all around the world, that I had to knock out my really good friends. So it wasn't really easy for me to move on,
Yeah, no, I can understand that. So you were not just friends, you were roommates at one point.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's UFC too. You like fight your friends.
Is it Courtney?
Yeah, it's Karen also. Yeah.
I know what you mean. I've fought, because I've had such a long career now, I've ended up fighting quite a few of my friends. One of them is one of my best friends now. And it is weird because even if we're hanging out and like the UFC plays like a highlight video and it'll be me choking him out or something like that. And it's always awkward because we're like sitting right there. I'm like, man, why'd they have to use that one? Like, you feel kind of bad about it, but it is the nature of the sport, right?
How do you have beers after that? Like,
but it's still different because in MMA, like you said, you get the chance to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, I have really good friends I had to compete against, and we kind of try to kill each other on the competition, and after we were friends. But this was something weird, that she's there, her hand has to be behind and literally giving her face for me, and I know I'm going to knock her out because I know my strength. I knew. And I was like, I don't want to hurt her, but here is the opportunity, and I may not get this opportunity again. So I don't want to regret this until the end of my life. And I was like, okay, let's fucking do it. So,
yeah. Hey, that's how I think about it. It's you or me. Like, you're both adults. You both signed up for it. So at the end of the day, it's the competition. And, if you didn't knock her out, then there was a chance she'd knock you out. And it could have been completely reversed. Going back to that, I can't remember. I know you've got it up. I can see it on the screen here. Did you go first or second?
She went second.
You went second. So walk us through what that first slap, you'd never done this before, from her was like. We're talking a lot about knocking people out and hitting them, but what's it like to
get all fired up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we walked up to the place, I don't know how to say, to the mat, I just try to forget about who I'm going to have the slap against, because it's emotionally really was hard time for me. So when I was about to receiving the slap, I was thinking that I just have to stay conscious and not to fall. So I was more focusing on my feet, because she hit hard too. I just can't take it. So after she hit me, my ear was ringing a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm yet on my feet. I'm yet on my feet. That's fine. Okay. And then after, when I'm coming back, but I get a little blackout too. I just was still on my feet.
You got flashed a little bit. We
I
call
get
it like getting flashed. Yeah.
I didn't know the right word. Yeah. But I get a little flashed. I was like, you don't know. That's the thing. you don't know how to handle it, because in martial arts or in judo I get choked that I'm almost passed out, and for some reason I was able to come back, but you were laying on your back. Here you are on your feet, and if you get flashed you may fall. That's what I didn't want, so I didn't fall. And then after, then I felt that. I felt the pain. It reminded me of my past traumas, and then I completely forget who I have to face with. So I just, in this one slap was my whole entire life. Let's say that.
Yeah, I can. Oh man, that's so. Actually, if you take a knee, is it like boxing where you get a count, or is that like so? It's a
Yes,
knockdown,
they start to
knockout.
counting. Yes,
And
yes,
is it
they
10
counting.
seconds?
Right? No, 30.
3?
If I could remember, 30 seconds.
Oh, 30. Oh man.
I think 30. So it's like there is a box. I mean, there's a line. You have to stay in, and after you get slapped and you're walking out, you have 30 seconds to get ready for your next slap. So
Okay.
it goes from your time. You have 30 seconds to get ready for your slap, even if you are on the. Oh, actually, I don't know how much they count if you're falling.
Yeah, because
to the
30
floor.
seconds is a long time. Like there's people that can come
No,
back
the
from a
full time
knock.
is 30 seconds to get back. I think 10 seconds to get knockout. I think it's 10. But I don't want to say. I forget. Sorry, because when I am there, I was as a coach. I just more watching their techniques and everything, and I'm not really paying attention for these details, which is very important. But
You're like, I'm not
Yeah.
worried about it because I'm not going down.
no, they are not going down. And me neither.
What was it like for your hand? So like, obviously you knocked her out and that was a brutal shot. Does that hurt your hand? Is there adrenaline going? Like when I fight, I don't really feel the punches as much because like the adrenaline is a hell of a drug and it's a great thing. But for some reason, like if I go slap the heavy bag right now, it stings my hand a little bit. What's that like? I don't go around
So,
slapping a lot of people, so I don't really know.
Yes, you do.
After that competition, I just had a very huge headache. So I take few Advils. But when I'm practicing for slapping things, after day or evening, I feel a little sore
Yeah.
here. But after that competition, I didn't feel anything. I just did one slap, so
That's
I
the
didn't
way-
feel anything.
That's the way to do it. Just keep your career like that. You could have the longest career. What so when because you've gotten to watch some of these too, right? Just the tryouts, and then it sounds like you've watched some other events like you've gotten to go to. Is there any serious injuries that you've seen or heard? Like we were saying, broken
About slap?
jaws. Yeah.
Oh, but during in Power Slap or any other federation?
Any of them that you've been around or heard? Because
Look, so I found out the slap thing. I think it was like 10 years ago. It was some YouTube videos. I saw it, and it was in the jail. It was somewhere in Russia.
it's always in Russia. Leave it to the Russians to
Yes,
come up with the craziest shit.
Yes, and it was in the jail. It was really huge guys, and they made this competition. And actually, I was excited about that who going to win, because huge, it doesn't mean they can hit like really hard. It's not everything about the size,
Oh,
or
exactly.
it's not sure that they can. Like my father always said, because he was short, so he said, "Who's huge, they can fall bigger." So I mean, it's not everything about the size. And it was just curious, and I was like, I don't know if I could do that. And look, now I get invited for this new thing, new sport.
Yeah. And now that you have, so they obviously picked you from the tryout, obviously. I mean, I don't know how many other like brutal ones there were then, but is there going to be teams? Is this an individual sport, or are they going to put you guys on teams? Because I know you said you're going to coach, or is that just like coach individually?
I was now coach. I don't know if in the future what is their plan, that they want to do another competition, like 2 teams go against. I don't know their future plan,
Yeah.
so I can't.
So
I
you-
can't unfortunately answer all these questions.
Yeah. And you said that that you were helping coach the men, right? So you've been coaching some of them.
Because there was just a male team.
Yeah.
So I couldn't coach women.
Did any of them?
And not so many women want to do that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Were any of the men kind of sizing you up? Like, what do you know? Like, what are you talking about? You don't know anything about hitting people, and they make you hit them? Do you have to show them?
No, I don't.
You have to show them how to do it?
Attention after I passed them out,
You're like, I just started knocking dudes out.
I have a question based on that question. So you're obviously a very attractive person. Have you had a lot of new weird admirers come out of the woodwork? Like, have guys approached you in weird ways now about this slap thing? Like
I want you to slap me.
yeah, like I want you to slap me.
There's always
Has
creeps
that-
out there.
I get a lot.
Right? It's have to have happened. Like someone's had to have
I
seen
know.
that.
Can I book you for slap fee and stuff? Yeah, I wanna get hit hard by you. I want you to knock me out. Yeah, of course I got.
You could probably make $1
messages.
million a year booking slappings and just
Say,
knocking
I won't.
dudes out.
We wish you were in studio because Miller here said that if you were here, he would have
I'd let you
slap
smack me.
him. And I would have paid to see that. It would have been if you would have gone. If you get knocked out, I would die laughing.
I have a huge jaw.
So it's going to be easy to hit.
Yeah,
Let's go.
you get a bonus. For
If you
knocking
were
him
here, I
out.
would definitely let you smack me. It'd be fun.
So where do you go from here? So now you're waiting. You said it's coming up
I'm
like
waiting
this.
to my next event. Yes, and I try to compete early summer for MMA. So that's the plan now.
Nice.
I need time for myself, and I also have to lose weight. Probably my next competition may happen in 155, and I'm now 165. So
Should
I
get her
have
out to the Fitsoda gym to train.
Yeah, we do have a private gym here we've just built in our new facility. So if you're ever in Colorado and you want to check it out, let us know.
Well, there's UFC.
Oh, thank
There's
you.
UFC guys here all the time. I mean, if you're going to go that route, Denver's
Oh,
kind of the
thank
place
you,
to
thank
be
you,
for
thank
training,
you.
right?
Yeah. So you're getting ready for this next competition, and you're also going into MMA. Maybe a little bit more of a personal question, but I know you said that you take opportunities because you always want to see where they go. Was part of you taking this opportunity to get that connection with the UFC and Dana White for a future MMA career more so than a slap career?
So that wasn't my intention. It came after that. It may be a good benefit. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
After I did the slap thing. Yes.
I mean,
But when I accepted the slap thing, I haven't had desire yet to do the MMA thing, because I already had 4 surgeries. So my shoulder, rotator cuff 3 times. Actually, my back spine get fused. So I have 6 platinums in my back. So, I went through a lot, my body. So I was like, I don't really want to torture my body yet with the martial art thing. So that's why I did bodybuilding. But after 2 years bodybuilding, I was like, oh, this is boring. I want to go back to do some cool thing. I want to feel pain. Which is really, my pain tolerance is really high, but it sounds weird. I need to a little bit feel tortured during training. This is how I grew up. Like, I always had lots of trainings. My father, like, even our weekend, we never were able to go to do any party all the time, just train. So this is my comfort zone. It makes sense. So after we did the slap thing, I was like, okay, I would like to try out the MMA. Anyway, Dana's eye is going to be on me, and maybe he's going to see me potential in MMA too, in UFC. Who knows?
There you go. Just keep getting his attention. Be like, you want to see me chuck some girl too?
Yeah.
You can start throwing girls around. What was I going to ask? Oh, by the way, that doesn't sound weird to me at all. Like, that's why I love training MMA and stuff. Like, part of torturing yourself, it helps you kind of, like, feeling that pain and stuff makes you feel more alive.
Right.
And it just, I totally
And
get it.
big exhausted. Don't you like that?
Love it.
To feel when I'm very exhausted, like I can't get out from the bed or from the mat, I feel like, okay, this day was worth.
Yeah, absolutely. Violence solves everything.
Right.
Whoa.
That's That's the warrior.
This
this is
podcast
the
brought to you by
warrior
Fit
roots.
Soda, and we don't condone violence of any kind.
No, I think this is in roots on up and us, and it doesn't matter which country you were born for. If this is in your root that you are a true warrior, it will comes out sooner or later. You have to feed it.
Yeah, it's a good outlet. So what is your boyfriend thinking about like during all this? Because I got to imagine that would be hard for me to like watch my girlfriend do this and just like, I mean, maybe not hard for him because you're the one knocking everybody
But what's
out.
the difference between like this and boxing? Like, who cares?
I mean, I think that's hard too. I'm just curious. I'm always curious
What?
about like the significant other, because I used to corner
Yeah.
my brother was in the UFC also. So cornering him,
Wow.
I was always so nervous for his fights. Way more nervous than when I fight. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really get nervous for mine, but my friends.
I don't get nervous when you fight either.
I was the same with my brothers too.
Yeah. Was your boyfriend like, was he trying to talk you out of doing this originally? Like, you don't need to do that. Come on. Like,
No, look, he's a very intelligent and very confident man. So he's very aware about how to handling my situation. Actually, he introduced me for Eric. So he's a very supportive man, and he just want me to be really successful here in the United States. So I can't wish a better partner ever.
yeah.
So
No, that's
No.
great. That's good because
he's obviously very excited, and he's proud of me, but he see the potential in me, and that's why he's just trying to push me. Yeah,
yeah, it always helps to have that like support system and everything.
and we train together, and he doesn't really want to mess with me. He's always saying this joke, because we're wrestling, and actually he got more motivation to train more from bodybuilding. Now he started doing also like PGG, some kickboxing. So he also give me some good partner. We're learning together. So it's really nice. We are kind of full time together.
Awesome. Well, hey, I want to say thank you so much for coming on here. And like I said, I had a
Thank
ton of
you.
questions because to me, I don't fully understand it, but hearing some of the rules and other things from you is really cool. I don't see myself ever doing it, but still we want to cover it because this is involuntary yoga and we cover more than just the UFC, it's fights. And if you didn't know what involuntary yoga means, it's like I'm going to make you do yoga even when you don't want to because I'll bend you in your clothes. It's like a jiu-jitsu on here.
That's awesome.
I think her next progression should be bare knuckle.
Oh, hey.
We'll get you in bare knuckle boxing next, and you can do it all.
Okay.
That's what Chris does.
But yeah, did you want to tell people where to find you? Anything about your next event? Feel free to plug whatever you want. And again, we want to say thank you for coming on.
Wow, thank you so much. So my Instagram is _Francesca_Azabo. So you can find me there. And I hope to see you guys in my next event, which is probably going to happen soon. And
Yeah,
thank you
we'd
so
love
much
to be
again
there.
for this invitation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime.
We need to send you
and
some fit soda.
I own another Chris with a slap, right?
Yeah. Hey,
You do. You owe me a slap. You got to come train at the Fit Soda gym. We'll send you some Fit Soda product, by the way, for you and your hubby. And yeah, we're going to have a slap fight next time you come.
I want to see you put him down.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
can't
thank
see
you.
my hand.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Big time. Knowing that